I'm his biggest fan and he's mine. So that right away, like, you come home and you have just the best support system, like, filled with so much love. He's so tall that sometimes a basic step I can't do around him. So, like, a Viennese waltz, which somebody would be like, oh yeah, so easy, just do 2 natural turns. I can't do a natural turn with him because I just physically cannot get around his body. I remember somebody posting like, oh yeah, 1 week of rehearsal done. I'm like, I haven't even started yet.
Dwight has such a creative mind that sometimes he even makes up his own steps in the middle of a dance.
The
You turn
cha-cha.
around and he's gone.
Oh my god. Not gum being here. Oh, candy. Dwight.
He loves candy.
He loves candy. And look what I just found from my last podcast with him.
Is that a Skittle?
I'm pretty sure it's a Skittle.
Classic Dwight.
Gross.
Tall guys, am I right?
Gotta love him.
When you saw Dwight walk in the room, did you get flashbacks of Iman?
Honestly, no, because he's taller. He's a head taller than Iman.
So did you immediately see that he was taller?
100%. I've never stood next to someone that tall before, I don't think. Because Iman was probably the tallest guy I've ever danced with, but he's the tallest guy I think I spent so much time with. And then when I saw Dwight, I was like, oh my god, he's so much taller. And it just like, it was just a shock. Like, I think my jaw literally fell to the floor.
So you had so many weeks with Iman, so obviously you were used to that. Was there a big adjustment dealing with Dwight?
Huge adjustment. Huge adjustment. Because it was just like, right away, the amount of thoughts that went through my head of, okay, what am I going to do with this, like, giant? Like, I'm going to have to make this work all season. And the thing is, you don't know how far you're going to get, obviously, in the competition, but it's your job as a coach to, like, do everything in your power to make your celeb look good. It's not about you, right? So immediately I'm like, how am I going to make him look better? Because for him, too, dancing with someone so short, well, let me rephrase that. I'm not that short because he's just so tall. I am short, but he's just that tall, right? But it's a huge adjustment for him too, because it's going to be so hard all season for him not to try to adjust to my level and try to still keep his own height while dancing. So both of us, it's a lot on both of us.
What are the things that you have to remind him while you guys are rehearsing?
That he should not dance down to me. That he actually, I want him to look taller than he is, because...
Does that bring your arms all the way up?
Oh, 100%. I can't like, if we get into a frame, I can't physically reach him. So we have to, like, completely do our own thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you look at any of the dances that Lindsay did with Kareem?
I didn't, but I remember such a iconic moment of when she was sitting on Haley's shoulders and she was dancing with Kareem. And it was like, it was such an iconic moment. But again, it's different because I think he was a little older than Dwight, right? I'm not really sure how old
I think he was, yeah.
He was older. So it's a different way of moving. Like, I feel like Lindsay's such a, like, icon in the dance world and in the industry because she just knows how to make her partners look so solid, and she knows how to, like, take their strengths and just, like, make it so entertaining. So that was, for me, such a standout moment.
Real quick, this video is sponsored by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everybody 3 free months of NBA League Pass. And if you don't know what NBA League Pass is, you get basically free access to every NBA League game. Me, as an LA Laker fan, is super pumped to see LeBron and Bronny play together. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 free months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner with the NBA. So if you want to support me and you want to support this podcast, go check out FanDuel. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this video. And now back to the video. Can we talk about some of the other competition on the show right now?
Sure.
Is there anyone else who sticks out to you that you're just blown away by their choreography?
I'm not going to lie to you. I think everyone's, like, their game this season is insane. Like, everyone is so good. And I feel like everyone's choreo is just... I don't know. It feels like someone just put, like, a little potion in the Dancing with the Stars community and just went, pew! Like, everyone looks amazing.
Do you think that attributes to why the show is getting the highest ratings and the highest amount of votes, like, now?
Sorry?
Because Alfonso's been saying how
No. What did you say? I didn't register what you said.
Do you think that all that attributes to why the show is getting the highest ratings, the most amount of votes this season now?
You know what? I think the people on it this season is what's getting people to watch, because you have such huge personalities and such lovable people. I think this is one of the most fun casts we've had in such a long time, and every season is so special and has their people who just thrive on the show, and their personalities are so great. But this season you have so many people who are so good but also have a great personality with it. And people like Alona, I just want to be her when I grow up. She's just so cool. She's just such an amazing person, So you have so many great characters on the show this season.
Can you break down how you teach the choreo to Dwight?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So we have a whole process, right? So, the way we work together is very different than we work with, my past partners. So one of the things on the show, what I love, and one of the greatest challenges is trying to figure out how you both work together, right? Because it's the first time you meet this person, and it's the first time you work together. So not necessarily do I have the same plan all the time, and sometimes I do, and then I come in and I'm like, crap, this doesn't work, we have to change it and make our own thing. So with Dwight, what happens is the first day I usually have my choreo ready. Pasha and I prep the choreo at home. And if Pasha is not available, I usually ask one of my friends or someone who's been on the show or knows the industry pretty well. So I prep my choreography, and then I come into the studio on day one, which is a Wednesday morning or evening, depending on what slot you have. And I teach it to him. I break it down to we try to get the whole choreography done. Usually,
the entire song?
Yeah, but not to music. So just the steps, so he can sleep on it, and the next day wake up kind of knowing what I want from him, and then we can start kind of mapping it out. Usually what happens is I have my choreography planned, and on day 2, which is a Thursday, I would have to change a lot of it, because no matter how much I plan at home or how much I think something works, he's so tall that sometimes a basic step I can't do around him. So a Viennese waltz, which somebody would be like, oh yeah, so easy, just do 2 natural turns. I can't do a natural turn with him because I just physically cannot get around his body, because his one step is my 5. So I get to the studio and I'm like, okay, I didn't think this was going to work, but it works really well. I thought this was going to work so easy. It doesn't work at all, so I have to change half of it. So a lot of times, even on Thursday and Friday, I'm still changing choreography.
With what you just said, there's so many disadvantages, but it also kind of unlocks so many new advantages, like him being able to twirl you around him and you getting to climb around him. It makes it such a fun visual to watch.
Thank you.
Is that all kind of on the fly, or are you studying that at home? I wonder if I can climb around his shoulders and get to his front before the song gets to that point.
A lot of it is mapping out where I want what. So I'll listen to the song. I'll kind of write down what I think flows where. And then a lot of the lifts that I do are actually accidents. So a lot of the things you saw with Iman weren't planned that way, but happened because of our height difference, or looked better on us, or worked better for us. So a lot of the things that we do, yes, I see things, I see inspiration just like everyone else, but a lot of it is customized to us and how we can do it together.
Your husband is a pro dancer as well.
Yes.
Do you train on him? Is he in stilts or anything just so that you can get the framing correct?
No, but sometimes he stands on our stairs, so we have somewhat of a height thing. I'm 5'3", so I'm pretty average for a girl, right? But
Dwight's 6'10".
He's 6'11".
6'11".
So we have almost a 2 feet difference in height. So yeah, it's very challenging to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work at home.
What's it like being married to another pro dancer on the show?
Oh my God, it's the best thing ever.
How so?
Because first of all, I'm his biggest fan and he's mine. So that right away, you come home and you have just the best support system, filled with so much love. And at the same time, we're always trying to help each other. So if I come home and I'm like, Bosh, do you think you can help me for 5 minutes while the baby's sleeping? And he's just like, yeah, absolutely. he's just always willing to help, and vice versa. If he's ever needing me, I'm right there, you know? So first of all, choreography wise, it helps out so much. And second of all, it's just, I love having him here. Hence why my reaction video was like, I was so mad because I want my husband here with me, you know? It's just natural to want your husband here. It's not like we're not competing against each other. Although we're not, you know, because I'm rooting for him and he's rooting for me.
I think that's what's so special about the show is that everyone competes against themselves rather than against each other.
100%. When you're in this competition, you're not thinking about anyone but yourself and your partner because you're surviving. You're not thinking about, oh, I want to beat this person or I want to be better than this person. You don't have time for it, truly. You're just thinking about, oh my God, Dwight is going with the heel. I need to not make him go with the heel. That's all that's on my mind. So you're literally just thinking about yourself and your partner.
Dwight has such a creative mind that sometimes he even makes up his own steps in the middle of a dance. Can we talk about, was it 2 weeks ago where you turned around and he's gone?
Oh my God. I literally turned around and he was not there. And he was just like feeling the music. I was like, you know what? It's better than just standing there, right? Like, kudos to him for not just standing there and freaking out. I loved the fact that he was able to just be like, forgot the steps. Oh, well, let me just make my own thing up. So I think it was so great. Like, it was so fun. And it's truly, I know it wasn't the most perfect dance. And I know the choreography wasn't like what I planned originally. But at the same time, it was the most fun I've ever had. Like, I was literally, like, my stomach was hurting from laughing during the performance. And I just remember, like, Carrie Ann starting to talk to us, and I'm still laughing from the dance. And I'm like, oh, my God, I don't even know what that looked like. But it was hysterical. It was so fun. We were thriving off of each other, off of the song. It was just, like, a good time.
When you guys were rehearsing, did he kind of have trouble remembering those steps, or was he good on that part?
So, no. So, actually, we were and the thing is, a lot of couples travel, like, different seasons, and it's, like, a known thing that people sometimes travel for their partners, but this time was, like, Dwight had some things he had to resolve, so we both traveled to New York, but the problem was we didn't have a set schedule, and if we did, it was changing nonstop, so it was it wasn't like we were traveling, and then we had a 5 to 9 rehearsal. It was we were traveling, we had a 5 to 9 rehearsal, but then he would only show up at 7 to 8. And then because he didn't know himself what the schedule would be. So it was just so all over the place that by the time I got to him, it was like he wasn't there. And I was so exhausted as well. So it was not productive. And basically those 2 days or 3 days that we had to train, it wasn't like we were all there. Because by the time we got from the airport home and we finally had our 2 days in LA, both of us were cooked. So it was just like, it was so much in so little time. And usually what happens is I get to plan out my choreo, and if something doesn't work, I can change it. And I think I started developing anxiety, and I was like, I'm usually a pretty chill person, and I take myself not so seriously, but I do take this process seriously because I want my partners to look good. But I found myself stressing out like I would for like Blackpool, the biggest competition in ballroom, and I'm like, I need to chill out because I want my partner to have fun too, you know? So I just remember being in not a good place, and Dwight was just like dealing with a lot of stuff, and we had 2 days to get ready. I couldn't change the choreo, and we only got it to music, like full speed, on a Sunday night, and camera blocking was the next morning. So I can't say the routine was like solid, and I just didn't know what I was going to get. But I have to say our dress rehearsal was way better than our actual performance because we at least did most of the steps. But that's okay.
Do you think that attributes to it being like freshest in his mind maybe? And then like life got back into his mind the next day?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, to be fair, we're human. So shit happens, right? So I don't know, but all I can say is that it was such a blur. Like, those few days that we had together were such a blur. But at the end of the day, was it perfect? No. Was it fun? I had the most fun I've had dancing. So it was an experience. But we got our redemption the next week, so that was great.
And you guys were doing two-a-days.
We were doing 2-a-days.
That's crazy.
Yes, because we had no time. So I was like, we need to at least do a morning rehearsal, have a break, have an evening rehearsal. So in those 2-3 days, it was like, I mean, it was jam-packed.
He's an Olympic gold medalist, professional athlete.
By the way, that's crazy. We have 3 Olympians on this cast. That's
nuts.
Insane.
Is somebody like him, when he's doing 2-a-days, does he get gassed, or is he pretty conditioned to he can handle the whole thing?
I think because we're all human, we all get gassed. Even me. Like, I'm just so tired by the time I get to him, but I'm like, you know what? He wants it so bad. He's so eager to work hard that it just makes you as a coach, like, give it all you have instead of, like, pulling teeth, you know?
With you being his coach, do you see that he can take criticism and what you tell him to do pretty easily because he's worked with coaches his whole life?
100%. Like, I noticed myself being way more like coach mentality with him just because I know he can take it. Like, if it was somebody who was more sensitive, I would be a little bit chiller and just like babysit him a little bit more because I want him to thrive off of this. He gets one shot at Dancing with the Stars. We get to do this, you know, as our career, and hopefully we're on every season, but also we don't know that. But he only gets one shot at this, and if he doesn't have a great time while doing it, it sucks, you know? So I still want him to have a good time, but at the beginning of the season, he was like, I want you to train me. Like, I want you to be hard with me because I can take it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to, you know, it's not easy taking someone who's 6'11" and turning them into a ballroom dancer, you know? So I have to have structure, but at the same time, I have to say we have a lot of fun. Like, we have so much fun.
It's weird. I thought it'd be easy. No, I'm kidding.
So are you going to be on next season?
I'm trying. You guys started the season late, right?
Yes, we did. And so usually we get like 1 or 2 weeks before the season starts. I remember my first season with Nelly, I had 4 days. It was insane because he only signed the contract like last second. And I remember like having a FaceTime call with him. He's like, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'm going to do this season. And it was like 5 days before the show started. And I was like, and it was my first time as a pro. So I was like freaking out a little bit, but then he, like, I guess everything worked out and he did it. But we had 4 days with Nelly, so I was kind of like, I've done it before.
Do you have the song at that point, and have you already prepped the choreo?
No, because they usually don't. I mean, that season, for some reason, I don't remember having the song. I remember having, like, steps. I don't want to lie to you, but I feel like I knew this. Maybe I did know the song. I think I did know the song. Yeah, because I think they give it to us like a few days before we start.
So it's like, hey, you might be doing this. This might be the song. This is possibly happening.
I think so, yeah. I don't want to lie to you, but I feel like I kind of knew what the song was. And then I was like, okay, I think I have him as a partner. So it was like, it was crazy. Yeah. But with Dwight, yeah, I think we started on the 7th and everyone had already started like 1 or 2 weeks before. I remember somebody posting like, oh yeah, 1 week of rehearsal done. I'm like, I haven't even started yet. Like, I was panicked. And I'm like, how am I going to make this work with someone so tall? And we started 2 days after GMA because his kids had a game and he didn't want to miss their game, which I was like, that is so sweet. I would probably do the same. And he's such a great dad. So I was happy that he got to spend some time with his kids before the season started.
Did he come to LA for it? Mm-hmm. Or were you teaching him in
No, he
St.
came
Louis?
to LA. Oh. He's from Atlanta. So
Atlanta.
yeah, he came here.
Were you a fan of him?
I don't watch basketball. I'm not.
Like, no, of Nelly.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah.
Are we talking about Nelly?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Dwight.
Did you teach Nelly here in LA?
Yes, Nelly came here because it was COVID season. So that's when he came. He flew here. I think he lived here. No, he lived here. He lived in LA. Yeah.
Oh, and Dwight missed it because of his kids' games.
Dwight missed it because of his kids' games. Yeah, Dwight and I started 2 days after GMA. So everyone was already rehearsing and we were just starting.
Is there an immense amount of pressure on you knowing that, like, he is doing it for his kids and he wants to show up and he wants to really take it, like, really represent who he is?
I do this every season, to be honest. Like, to be fair, I want my partner to look good. I don't care, like, about myself. I will always adjust to them. But even though I know his kids are watching and his family, it's the same for me every season. Like, I just want him to thrive and that his kids are coming to the show tomorrow, and he's dedicating like tomorrow night for his kids is a huge thing. So I just want him to make sure that he stays true to himself and focused and just still has fun, and I don't want him to like get nervous or anything.
Do you show Pasha the like your phone video of how your guys' practice went that day?
100%. Sometimes I even love to get Pasha into a studio with Dwight and just like show him from a male's perspective what it's supposed to look like, because no matter what, I'm a 5'3" girl, and like I tried to make it look masculine on my body, but there's nothing like another guy showing a guy how to move in their like what it's supposed to look like in ballroom, you know what I mean? So I love having Pasha in the studio. Like yesterday, for example, I took him in the morning, Dwight, and I was like, do you have like an hour to get Pasha in the studio and just show you like certain moves, how they're supposed to look? And we got into a studio with Pasha, and it was so great, just like seeing Dwight just like try to copy the movements, and it was great. It was so nice.
His shoulders are so broad.
I know.
It's insane.
That's why I put the slide in the cha-cha, because I was like, there's no way people are going to think. Everyone's going to think he's going to jump over my shoulders right now, and then he went. Yeah.
That moment where he's holding you.
Yeah.
That went pretty viral. Did you, like, are you crafting moments like that for the fan reactions to kind of, like, remember this?
No.
It's just part of the dance, and if it catches on, it catches on.
I was just like, this height difference is so comedic that I have to play into that. And when I can't speak for everyone, but when I'm choreographing, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm going to make this a standout moment so people remember it. It's just the whole thing. I'm like, all right, how can I make this unique? That's it. And then there are things that stand out, and there are things that I like work hard on that don't stand out. I'm like, oh, dang it. Nobody really noticed it. So it's just moments like that where it's organic, you know?
Can we talk about your Emmy nomination?
Oh gosh.
Was there anything special about that dance while you were crafting it? Like, did it feel special?
You know what? I wasn't born and raised into contemporary dancing, right? So I think that what made that dance so special and so unique was the music and the theme. I feel like I went to watch that movie, and I was like, okay, Iman told me about that movie. I actually didn't know about that movie. So I was like, and it's called Us. And he's like, did you watch the movie Us? And I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, we need to do it for Halloween. I was like, okay. Went to go watch it. I was like, all right, this could actually be really creepy. And the song I got 5 on it is like, I love that song. And the whole like remix of it was so sick. So I was like, okay, this could work. And I just remember being like, this song is so hard to dance to, because if you listen to it, there are no beats, and he just knows it so well. So the choreo was done on like lyrics and like motions to weird places in the music, but there was no like 1 to 8 count. It was just and it's like you either miss the beat or you don't. So it was a very interesting experience. And I remember I got Ezra into a studio with me, Ezra Sosa, because I was like, I have so many crazy like thoughts about it. I need someone that I can kind of like have lift me, because Pasha can't lift me at home, right? I mean, he can, but he can't. And I was just like, Ez, do you think you can come in and I can just climb all over you? And I remember that day, and I was like, literally, I felt so bad because I was climbing all over him. Like, poor guy was lifting me left and right. And I was like, I saw this video and I was like, do you think you can try this lift with me? And then I just remember like we had like me and Ezra, like I did a lot of things. And then I remember coming into the studio with Iman, and I was like, shit, this doesn't work. Because he's tall, right? He's so much taller. And I'm like, all right, how can we make this look and feel like more us? You know? Oh, the pun. And I was like, okay. And then I remember like different things, like standing on his shoulder. Even standing on his shoulders, I was just like...
Did you do that on Ezra?
No.
Oh.
I did it on Iman. Yeah. And it was like, I have videos. I should show you videos.
Yeah.
Of like the first time I tried it with Iman. And it's like, I have the producers and not the producer, but actually the guy from the front desk who was working at like, not security, but like just sitting there at the time, and like calling him to the studio just to protect me, just in case if I fall. I'm like, I need someone to just stand there and just like hold me in case if I fall. Because I trusted that man with my life. I literally trusted Iman with my life. And he would never drop me. I had this one video that I posted like a while ago, and it was him holding me, and I'm this close to the floor, like rebounding. And I'm just like, here you go. Just catch me. Because I knew he would never drop me. So I knew that I can trust him because he has kids as well, and he's very aware of his partners, and he takes care of like the people he's with. So never had any trust issues with him. It was crazy from the get-go.
It was an insane performance.
Thank you.
Really insane.
It was fun. Obviously, like, it was one of my favorites.
They haven't announced it yet, but I'm assuming there's a Halloween week. Do you have in mind, assuming that's a possibility of a week, what you want to do for it already?
I do, but I also don't want people to compare it to, and that's the hardest thing, because I'm dancing with another NBA player, you know, so it's the hardest thing is people not to compare him to Iman. And Dwight is like his own person with his own groove, with his own way of moving. We're going to have our own dance. And if we do end up doing something similar, like contemporary, because it's Halloween, you know, I don't want him to be compared to Iman, because what I did with Iman was so special and so unique to us. I will never be able to replicate what I did with him with someone else. And same thing with, like, for example, Jason Mraz last year. Like, I did a whole, like, you can't compare that to Iman's dance. It was also a contemporary, but it's just a different partner is a unique situation. So you're trying to play to their strengths. And if their strength is not lifting, or if their strength is dancing, like, you're going to want them to dance more, right? And that's another thing. I don't want Dwight just throwing me around. I want him to dance. I want him to learn how to dance. So hopefully people don't compare it. I know they probably will, but just it'll be a challenge to kind of see what we can do together, you know?
Today's Monday. I know you have to go teach Dwight and do
I
rehearsal
have to go
very
warm
soon.
him up.
Can we fire through some fan questions real quick? What is your favorite theme night?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
The one where we just do like a ballroom or Latin dance.
A ballroom rut?
No theme.
No theme?
No.
Why? You just love the style?
I just love that 1 week where you have a ballroom and Latin dance, and it's like just authentic, you know, because that's what I grew up doing. So I love just like watching, for example, an NBA player do a beautiful waltz or like a beautiful authentic rumba. So I don't know, that's what I love. I love seeing them so out of their element, because the themes are amazing, but they get to play a character, and I want to kind of see them like just be a ballroom dancer for a night.
How do you get good at making choreography?
How do I get good at making Oh, thank you. First of all, honestly, it's just challenging myself, and the biggest thing is not repeating what I did before. I think that gives me a little bit of anxiety sometimes, but it's hard not repeating yourself, because you know there are things that work and things that don't work already, because you've been in the game for such a long time. It's kind of like trying to reinvent myself every single time.
What's the best thing about being a mom while also still doing Dancing with the Stars?
My baby. I love coming home to her. I hate leaving her. It's like the hardest thing in the world, because now she says mama, and it's like the moment they start speaking, and they're just being ripped away from you, it's like a piece of your heart is just being ripped out. But I love seeing her watch me dance, because I feel like I can be a role model for her, and I love seeing her in my living room just like running around and like turning. Pasha taught her how to turn, and now she like turns around with her arms up in the air, and she's like such a dancer in her sparkly dress. When
you and Pasha were both doing rehearsals at the same time, were you kind of doing it to where one of you were with the baby one here?
So we're so fortunate. Pasha's parents are retired, and we moved them here to California. So they live like 15 minutes away from us, and they've been staying home with Nikita every day. So we're so fortunate to have them, yeah.
How is it like working with your husband?
Working with my husband is literally the best thing ever. I'm obsessed with him, and I love just like even walking into the ballroom and he's there and you see his smile, you're just like, oh, I'm home, you know? Like, it's a sense of home being with you all the time. That's why I love tour, because now I get to bring my baby on tour. So now it's like I get to do tour and have my husband and have my baby and have my mother-in-law. So it's like my whole family's there. It's amazing.
The dream.
It's literally the dream.
What can we expect from week 5?
Week 5?
Tonight,
Are we on
or tomorrow
week 5?
Night. Yeah,
Are
dedication
we on week 5? Oh my gosh. Jeez. What can you expect? You're gonna see Dwight turn into a true ballroom dancer.
It's happening.
It's happening.
I'm so excited.
And me too.
Thanks for making the time.
Thank you.
Flyweights out. Go, guys.
Yay,
Go vote for
I'm
Daniella.
going. Please vote for me, please.
Text Dwight 10 times.